I wanted to start, though, by just making sure you've got some understanding of what I've been doing over the last, well, particularly, I suppose, the last 5 years, but also the last 20. So why I feel that I'm in a position to help answer this question and to give you some ideas about how you can all help politicians to do exactly this. I first got involved in local politics in Burnley about 5 years ago. And since then, I mean, at the time we had in Burnley a political control by the Labour Party. The town had had a Labour local authority since Burnley was created as a local authority in 1971. We'd had a county council where all of the 6 seats in Burnley were Labour held since the Lancashire County Council was created in 1971. And we had a Labour MP. And I came in and started to change the way that the Liberal Democrats did politics in Burnley. And principally that was about working out ways of connecting with people and making sure that people knew they were being listened to, that the things that were on the concerns of ordinary people were the things that we were talking about, and that we talked about it regularly. That means, things like leaflets through letterboxes, direct mail, ringing people up, public meetings, lots of things of that kind. And there's been quite a transformation in the party's political fortunes in Burnley since then. The first year that I got involved, Labour lost overall control of the local authority, and since the Lib Dems were the biggest single party, the Lib Dems took control. The following year, the Liberal Democrats had an overall majority on the council and took overall control of the council for the first time ever. The first time it had been anything but Labour. Last year, in the county council elections, Labour lost all 6 of the seats, and the Lib Dems took 5 of those 6 seats. We would have taken the 6th one as well if only we'd had a candidate, but that 6th one fell to the BNP. So what I'm trying to say to you here is that the techniques that I'm going to describe to you today are things that I know work because I've tried them out and I've seen the results that it's produced. Okay, so let's start with this question that's on here. Can politicians prepare society for the technological challenges of the future? Well, I should imagine that inside, probably many of us are already kind of thinking, well, probably not. I mean, the track record's not great, is it? Look at what happened with the internet. So this new technology comes along, nobody in any position of power has any clue what it is, any clue what impact it's going to have on society. It goes off on its own, and today we have a largely unregulated internet. It's pretty much a free-for-all. It works, obviously, it's a great thing. There are some risks and dangers out there, but on balance there can be little doubt that it works. So in that sense, people didn't need to be prepared for that. The technology just happened. So I'm almost inclined to think, well, perhaps no, politicians can't, and maybe it doesn't matter because these technologies will happen anyway, so why don't we just let them get on with it? Mind you, on the other hand, I think some of the changes that are on the horizon are orders of magnitude different to the development of the internet. Things like the arrival of artificial general intelligence, the ever-increasing improvements in people's health and longevity that are taking place, and with a health expectancy that's radically escalating, the challenges for the cost of our healthcare systems, the escalating cost of pensions, and all those sorts of things that everyone in this room is really familiar with. These are orders of magnitude greater than the problems and the challenges that we faced previously. So I think actually it's really important that society as a whole is prepared for these changes. Otherwise, well, I think you already know what some of the risks are. You can imagine the kinds of things that could go wrong and the sorts of scale that we might be talking about if they do go wrong. What I'd like to do, though, is just take a quick look at one particular politician who would like us to believe that he is prepared for the future. Now, I shall just whip out the little bit of video that I want, which I had on screen earlier but seem to have lost. Here we go. Just get this on the right screen first of all. Right.
thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you, New Hampshire. I love you back. Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you so much. I am still fired up and ready to go. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm actually going to zip this along.
Well, first of all, I want to
play a couple of
congratulate
excerpts
Senator Clinton on a hard-fought victory.
Start.
For when we have faced down impossible odds, and we've been told we're not ready, or that we shouldn't try, or that we can't, generations of Americans have responded with a simple creed that sums up the spirit of a people. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. It was a creed written into the founding documents that declared the destiny of a nation. Yes, we can. It was whispered by slaves and abolitionists as they blazed a trail towards freedom through the darkest of nights. Yes, we can. It was sung by immigrants as they struck out from distant shores and pioneers who pushed westward against an unforgiving wilderness. Yes, we can. It was the call of workers who organized, women who reached for the ballot, a president who chose the moon as our new frontier, and a king who took us to the mountaintop and pointed the way to the promised land. Yes, we can to justice and equality. Yes, we can to opportunity and prosperity. Yes, we can heal this nation. Yes, we can repair this world. Yes, we can. And so tomorrow, as we take the campaign south and west, as we learn that the struggles of the textile workers in Spartanburg are not so different than the plight of the dishwasher in Las Vegas, that the hopes of the little girl who goes to the crumbling school in Dillon are the same as the dreams of the boy who learns on the streets of LA. We will remember that there is something happening in America, that we are not as divided as our politics suggest, that we are one people, we are one nation, and together we will begin the next great chapter in the American story with 3 words that will ring from coast to coast, from sea to shining sea. Yes, we can. Thank you, New Hampshire. Thank you. Thank you, New Hampshire.
A couple of other excerpts I'm just going to let you have a listen to.
Against Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan. We will care for our veterans. We will restore our moral standing in the world. And we will never use 9/11 as a way to scare up votes, because it is not a tactic to win an election. It is a challenge that should unite America and the world against the common threats of the 21st century. Terrorism and nuclear weapons, climate change and poverty, genocide and disease. All of the candidates in this race share these goals. Authority, we can harness the ingenuity of farmers and scientists